Hello, interwebs. I'm back. And this time with some very pretty scenery. So, I was scrolling through my Facebook feed earlier today and I saw something that interested me. And I saw that Doomsday, the episode season 2 finale, has just turned 10 years old. After I saw this post on my Facebook feed, I started to think about why is Doomsday such a classic? Many Whovians who I know, they would say that Doomsday is probably one of their top 10 favorite stories of all time. And I have to agree with them. It's an absolutely fantastic story. But what makes it so good? Why is it such an important episode in the Doctor Who canon? There's of course several reasons, like the Daleks and the Cybermen being in one episode, which would make any episode at least noteworthy, if not fantastic. Doomsday introduces Torchwood, well, at least formally. They built it up for the entire season preceding it, but we finally get to meet Torchwood, and Torchwood plays a huge role in the Doctor Who canon, at least in Russell T Davies' era. We also get, for fans of catchphrases, we get the first appearance of Allons-y by the 10th Doctor. Of course, those are just kind of surfacey reasons for why Doomsday is such a great episode. Anyone can be like, oh, the monster's super great, or like, it's significant story-wise, but that doesn't actually answer the question of why is Doomsday so important. I think one of the big reasons why it's such an important part and such a great episode is that it signifies the end of an era in Doctor Who. It is the departure of Rose Tyler. Doomsday is the departure of Rose Tyler, and up until Doomsday, she had pretty much been the show. You had the Ninth Doctor in season 1, and then we transitioned to a new Doctor almost right away, which could have been something very, very difficult for the show to overcome. But we had Rose Tyler, who, don't hate, is one of the best companions that the show's ever had, and so she really held the show together. Sorry, it started raining and there was thunder, and I was on top of a big rock outside, so that was probably not a good place to be. Well, Rose did a lot of great things on the show, and as I mentioned, really held the show together. It might have in some ways been holding the show back. So by letting Rose Tyler go, it allowed them to then try to do new things. Doomsday also kind of provides this really interesting commentary on government and sort of business with Torchwood itself. Torchwood, as you should know if you're watching my channel, is an institution formed kind of outside of the British government, but is still part of the British government. And they've been collecting alien artifacts for hundreds of years. So for a lot of the season, they're portrayed as these bad guys, and even for most of Doomsday, they are the bad guys. Doomsday brings up a number of sort of ethical questions about war and weapons and aliens. Like, what do we do with the technology that we find? Do we keep it and weaponize it, or do we make it freely available? What do we do? So this is a very interesting question, which kind of forms the nexus of Doomsday. In the show, it's presented very obviously that weaponizing this found technology is a very bad idea. Had that never happened, none of the plot of Doomsday would have happened. So apparently, Doctor Who thinks making weapons is not a good idea. The show entirely focuses on an alien who tries to stop conflict. Doomsday utilizes parallel universes as a plot device, which is not necessarily unheard of in Doctor Who. It is, however, rather uncommon. So by using this more uncommon trope, it really adds a lot to the story and makes it much more interesting. It's also very cool that we see the future in the other parallel dimension. And through doing this, it kind of sets up something that they do a lot in Doctor Who nowadays, is they close doors, but they don't necessarily lock them. Like what we saw with Clara this past season, where, spoilers, where she just kind of, she's dead, yes, but she's just floating around the universe with Maisie Williams on her last second of life, doing whatever. So it's pretty clear that Doomsday is a very significant episode, not only like in universe, but to us as the viewers of the show. It marks a huge turning point in the show, and we see things starting to happen there that they continue to do even nowadays. And they even raise some questions about the morality of what we see in the show. Thank you for watching. If you liked the video, please like it, subscribe, share it, make me famous. That would be cool.